Hey y'all, so I know it's been a long time since I've actually done an insurance related video, and I was falling asleep last night. I was half asleep, and the topic for an insurance related video came to mind, but like I said, I was half asleep and I didn't text it to myself or anything like that, and I swore I would remember, which I don't know why. I thought I would remember, and of course I woke up this morning and I forgot. But I have another insurance related video that I want to cover, and I know I need to do more insurance related videos just to keep y'all reminded that the main focus of the channel is insurance. But anyway, I received a call the other day from someone who was trying to recruit me to sell insurance with their company. Because once you get your life insurance license, your contact information becomes public record with the Department of Insurance in whatever state you're in, or if you're licensed in multiple states and the multiple different states. And unless you put it on like the do not call list. So periodically I'll receive those calls about from people trying to recruit me to sell insurance with their agency. And I've spoken with the company, and I'm not going to say the company, but the company that the lady was calling from, I spoke with another lady reached out to me, but she reached out to me via Facebook about selling insurance with that same company. And then this was a few months ago, and then it was a gentleman also a few months ago who reached out to me, not from that same company, but from a company that they work pretty similar. They have a pretty similar business model. And that's what brought me to today's video, because I really just want to say, any company who really cares about and values their agents will not start them at any commission less than 75% commission. So if you're looking to get into the business, if you're looking to sell insurance,
in 1,000 feet, at the traffic circle, take the third exit onto Pennsylvania 116 West, Hanover Road.
Sorry, I can actually probably turn my GPS off at this point, because I kind of think I know the route enough to not have to use it, but some of those turns might get a little tricky, so I think I'm gonna leave it on. But yes, so if you're looking to get into the business, and if you know an insurance agent personally, please speak with them before getting started, or reach out to me and speak to me, because I had to learn a lot of things the hard way, and I don't want any other agents who's getting in the business to have to learn these things the hard way. So like I said, and the GPS may start again, so give me a second.
Exit the traffic circle onto Pennsylvania 116 West. Continue for 3 miles.
The GPS is talking, and I had already exited the traffic circle. But anyway, yes, so if you are looking to get into the business, and somebody that's trying to recruit you, and they're telling you how you're starting out with 25% commission or even 50% commission, it's highway robbery. Trust me when I tell you. Like I said, and if you've been watching my channel from the beginning, I didn't even get in the business for the money. I got into the business because I saw the need in our community, my community, and I also I initially was talking to the girl who recruited me, and I was like supposedly just coming in as like a silent partner because I really just didn't want to sell insurance, but I really did see the need, so that's why I got into business. And I started with one of those companies that start you out with 25% commission. And let me tell you how it went for me. So I started with one of the companies that starts you out with 25% commission. In order to get bumped up to 50% commission, you have to recruit a certain amount of agents to sell insurance under you. So they're called downline agents, right? And the way this particular company is set up, they are really big on you having downline agents. They really, really, really want you to recruit more people to get in the business. Me personally, I did not feel I did not feel comfortable recruiting agents to sell insurance under me, with me just being very new in the business and not knowing the ins and out myself. Because in a sense, if you're recruiting agents to sell insurance under you, in a sense, you're kind of placed in a managerial role, right? They're going to look to you for guidance. They're going to look to you for advice. They're going to look to you, they're going to come to you with questions that they have about the business. And if I'm just starting and I don't know the answers myself, it's one thing if, it's me and a friend and we're going into this thing together. But it's another thing for me to be in the business and I'm recruiting someone to work under me, in a sense. That's the way it's, set up. And they have to come to me for questions and I can't answer any of their questions. I have to go to my upline. And, what if they're not readily available to answer the question? Yeah, it just didn't make sense to me. If I'm going to bring you in and I know that you're going to, look up to me for answers and guidance and things like that, I want to be able to know so that I can give you the answers. So I was not comfortable recruiting. However, the paperwork said, and I'm going to read the small print, okay? The paperwork said, in order to get bumped up to the 50%, you had to either recruit 3 downline agents or have a certain number of qualifying appointments, which means you go out on the appointments and you close the sale, right? Which I did. I had enough. I had more than enough. But I believe that the company was so used to or banking on the fact that people would not read the small print, because when she was kept telling me that, I needed to recruit downline agents, and I read to her what the small print said. And she said, oh yeah, it does say that, so we will give you the promotion, but we're going to give you like a silent promotion because usually agents, they recruit 3 downlines before we give them the promotion, right? But your own paperwork says recruit 3 downline agents or close a certain amount of qualifying appointments, right? So
in a quarter mile, turn left onto Mengus Mills Road.
She was really kind of upset that she had to bump me up to 50%, because even though I didn't have the downline agents, I did enough business to qualify, right? So she had to give me the promotion, and then she changed the paperwork. She changed the paperwork to take that or part out of it. So I don't know if like each individual office and the higher ups had the freedom to run theirs the way they saw fit, and certain rules weren't company wide. But she changed the paperwork so that any other agents that were behind me, in order for them to get bumped up to that 50%, they had to have those downline agents, right? So
take the next left onto Mengus Mills Road.
When I left that company, I never had any downline agents. I never recruited any agents. And when I left, I was still at the 50%, but I
Continue on Mengus Mills Road for 1 mile.
But then when I left is when I started finding out. So I was with that company, then I went to another company, and then that's when I got with the company that I've been at for the last, since 2019. And that's when, you don't know what you don't know until you find out that you don't know it, right? So now what I can tell you is that right now, my lowest commission, the contract, because I'm an independent agent, so I have contracts with a bunch of different companies. My lowest contract, the commission, and this is for a regular policy, because I spoke with you guys before about the guaranteed issued and the simplified issued and the very simplified issued policies, and how just because the nature of the policy, the way it's set up, they pay you lower, they pay less across the board, just because the way the policy is set up, and they're like a last ditch effort. If a person absolutely can't get a policy anywhere else, then we do those types of policies. So they pay a lot less. But just my regular, my commission for a regular type policy, I think my lowest commission may be a 95% commission, and that's for a children's policy, because children's policies pay less because they cost less. They typically cost less because there are a few.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Pennsylvania 116 West.
There are a few instances where a child's policy can cost more than an adult policy, and maybe I'll do a video. I think that is a good topic, because I think I'll do a whole video on that one day. But
take the next right onto Pennsylvania 116 West.
So that's a 95%, and that's for a children's policy. And I think my highest commission is 135, maybe 140, because one of my, I have a high commission. The highest commission that I have is for
continue on Pennsylvania 116 West for 5 miles.
The highest commission I have is for a company that I don't even really, I don't think I've ever written any policies with that company. But the highest commission that I have, that I actively write for, I think is a 125. And you're probably thinking, well, how does the company make any money if they're paying their agents 125% commission, right? Because that was my initial thought, like, how is the company, and trust me, they make their money, but in all honesty, the company doesn't really start making money off the policy until the 3rd year, technically. But I won't get into that, because I think I may do an entire video on how the company makes money. It makes their money, especially if they're paying their agents 100%, 110, 15, 20, 125, 130, 140% commission. So it doesn't seem to make sense mathematically. Like, how can they make their money if they're paying their agents all of this money, right? So I'll cover that in an entire video one day. But the main focus for this video was to let you know, if you're looking to get into the industry, don't be taken advantage of. Because we don't necessarily, just like they say, teachers don't get into it for the pay, but you still have bills to pay. You still have to pay for your course to become licensed. You still have to pay for your license. You still have to pay for your continuing education credits. You still have to pay for your errors and omission insurance. You still have to pay for your if you're licensed in multiple states, you have to pay to get your other licenses. You have to pay to renew those licenses. So that, so we're doing the work, and there's maintenance fees to keep the license, and you should be getting paid. And 25% commission and 50% commission is highway robbery. Trust me. And even with the 75%, how I said that no company that values their agents will start you below 75%. 75% is even on the lower end, okay? But no company that values their agents will start you any less than that. Also, so the three people, so I talked to 4 people recently about, I mentioned 3, but I talked to 4 people recently. 3 from this particular company that the lady called me from the other day, and 1 from a company similar. The guy who I spoke with, he actually tried to recruit me from the company that I started out with. But when I was telling them, that what my commission schedules look like, their mind was blown, because of course you don't know what you don't know until you realize you don't know it. They didn't even know that it was a such thing as agents out there being paid more than what they were getting paid, right? So, and then, so now I do have a downline agent. I have just one, and she was actually not my direct upline, but she was my upline's upline when we were with the company that I started out with. And we both, when we got with, so she did the second, when I left, somebody else that was in that same company, they recruited both of us when we left the last business, the first company, and we ended up with the second company together. And our upline, I think she made the mistake of recruiting us. The same thing I said I didn't want to do. She recruited us, and she didn't have any of the answers, and we were over there, and she was just like MIA, and I was like having to figure out everything on my own. Like I didn't know anything. I was, it was trial and error, and she didn't know any of the answers, and I would call her and she wouldn't answer, or she would say, I'm gonna get back to you, and she never did. And there was a few instances where I went to her upline, and she was able, she was helpful, but that wasn't really her position to do. My direct upline should have been helping me. So I was just like a fish out of water and I was figuring it out on my own. And the one who I said she's my downline agent, she was so frustrated with our upline not giving her any assistance. She was going to go back to the company that started us off at 25%. She didn't really want to, but it was all she knew, and she wanted to be in a business because she saw the need as well, and she knew how to sell that product. So she was going to go back, and I was like, no, I can't let her go back. I asked a mutual friend of ours, can you ask her, can we talk? I talked with her, and I was like, I found another company, and I'm transferring my contracts over there. The guy has been really helpful. If you're willing to not go back to that first company and you want to be my downline agent, we could, and we've been since 2019, we've been with this other company. And when you have downline agents, well, not with the company that I started out with, but when you have downline agents, and especially when you're independent, and with most companies, you get to set what their commissions are. So she was already in the business. She was in the business before me. She already knows how to sell insurance. But there was a lot when we left that company. Like I think I covered on the video before, starting out in a company like that, once you leave, you realize that you're behind the curveball. So it's a lot that you don't know. And how I was realizing that some of the stuff that they were saying wasn't right is because I had insurance policies on myself, on my children, on my children's father before I got into the business. So I knew some of the stuff that they were saying didn't even make sense just based off what I already knew how insurance worked, right? So that was the first thing, like something isn't right here for me. So 2019, we switched over to the third company. It was my third company. It was her third company. She trusted me enough to sign up under me. And I just made her commissions 5 points under me. So like, if let's just say like the company that I said my contract is a 140, hers is a 135. I'm not trying to make a whole bunch of money off of the policies that she make. So I just set all of her contracts 5 points under mine. But you can set it wherever you want to set it. A lot of people set their, I think they normally set their downline agents maybe 25, 20 points below them. But I knew her personally, kinda. She had already in a business. It wasn't like I needed to do a whole lot of teaching her. I did kind of have to, you know, show her how things work on this side of the business a little bit, but I wasn't trying to like get rich off the policy.
In 800 feet, turn left onto Bear Avenue.
I wasn't trying to get rich off the policies that she wrote, so I really just made her 5 points below me. So I went to turn my GPS off and it cut off the video. So this is the end of the video, and maybe my sister will show me how to slice the videos together because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. But like I was saying, I wasn't trying to make a whole lot of money off of the policies that she writes. So I only started her 5 points under me. But even if I was to, just to say somebody freshly in a business and it required me to give them a lot more, assistance and training and stuff like that, the most I probably would start them 15 points below me, maybe. I'm not trying to cut, too far into anybody's money, So, that's just really it. I have had a few people that I know personally get into the business, and when they run across something that didn't look or sound right, they hit me up and they're like, can I ask you a few questions, because I signed up with that company and I didn't realize it was this fee and that fee, and I didn't realize this and I didn't realize that. So I try to tell people before you go, if you know, not just me, if you're looking to get in the business and you know an insurance agent personally, please speak with them before you go and sign up, because they can help you avoid some of the pitfalls that they probably ran into. So that's about it. I'm pulling up at the house, and that's all I wanted to tell you guys. And until next time, as always, it's the Neighborhood Insurance Lady, and I'm wishing you love, laughter, life insurance, and pieces of the puzzle. Talk to you soon. Bye.